Hello everyone, welcome to this new video where I want to talk about this question and to discuss this topic, how to start learning a language, how to even start, all right? It looks like a very simple answer, but unfortunately it's not so simple as how it looks like, right? It's really complicated to find native speakers where you can talk to. It's really hard to even know where to start. Like, do you need to start with the grammar? A lot of words. Like, what do you need to do? But I would just explain you how I would start, even without having a plan. All right, because you need to start somewhere. So I personally think that it's important that you find a native speaker, all right, where you can practice with, someone where you can talk daily to, right? In my case, it was always it's not so hard because like I can find tourists everywhere on the streets in Amsterdam, in the Windmill Village. There are so many tourists which I can find. Well, I can find. So, but not everyone has this option. So it's not for everyone possible to learn a language if they're living in an area where there are not many tourists or not many people who speak a different language. Okay, then there's still the internet. I think it's good if you are studying a new language that you find someone where you can practice the language with, right? And well, even when you have like when you don't know so many people, I even then think that when you would publish something in your story that you want to practice the language with someone, that it could help a lot. So often when I'm looking for a native speaker, I just publish something in my story telling that I'm looking for a native speaker. So for example, on my Instagram story, I sometimes post like, hey, I want to practice this language. Do you also speak it? Let's practice together. And then I receive DMs. Okay. Obviously, I know a lot of people who are practicing different languages, and I have a lot of international contacts. So for not everyone, it's that simple. But even when you don't, like how do you say it? Even when language learning is something completely new for you, you might be surprised about how many people want to learn Spanish or people who are already practicing Spanish. So just by putting it in your story, it could already be a great start, and you could be surprised about the DMs which you're receiving from people with the same motivation or a native speaker who also wants to learn your language. It could help. A next step could be a video. All right, you could even publish a video showing you, of you explaining why you want to learn that language, and also on such a video, people could react. Right. So I think it already helps if you are explaining about your motivation, telling people that you're learning a language, and if you make posts about that you could find out which people are also interested, and that's how you can practice with them. And to be honest, like the first video which I published on my YouTube channel, after the video, I also got to know a lot of other people who are interested in languages, but also other polyglots. And so you would be surprised about how many people you can meet this way. And also, I have contact with other language channels with people who are also creating language content, and they also get to know other people who are interested in language. So it's a great start. So you don't have to start a channel. You can also just post something in your story if you don't want to create content, but you still want to practice a language. Okay, so that could help a lot. Yeah. Secondly, even when you would live in an area, okay, let's give two examples. Or you're living in an area where a lot of tourists are living and expats, then the answer is easy. You know, you can just practice with people on the streets or wherever you are. There are like bars, restaurants where you can practice the language with someone. That could help a lot. All right, that's option one. If you're living in an area where there are not so many tourists, there are still ways. You can still go to a restaurant, for example, where they have foreign food, for example, and there you can practice the language with someone. And maybe that person also wants to learn the language which you speak. So that could help a lot. Another option is that you just go to a big city, so then you need to travel, but still it would be a great option. And just try to talk to strangers, and you will be surprised about how many people are interested to learn a language as well, like you, or to practice with you. Um, But this is all about finding people where you can practice with. There's so many ways to study languages even without a native speaker. So you can already have a start, because it might take a while before you meet someone where you can practice with. In the meantime, you can watch movies in different languages, or movies with the subtitles in different languages. There's so many channels about language learning, but also channels where people speak in a different language. So yeah, watching vlogs in a different language is a really good way as well. And listening to music is also something which is like quite interesting, which could help a lot. But also having a book where you can learn something about the grammar, words and stuff like that. That could also help, definitely. But the most important thing is that you stay motivated. And how can you stay motivated? I really think that it helps if you know other people around you. Okay, so again, I think it's really a huge difference if you are living in an area with a lot of tourists. Then it's definitely easier. But it's not impossible to learn a language, even when you are living in an area with not so many tourists. There's still ways, and you just need to find the people who are also interested like you. And I really hope that this video is motivating you. And I want to tell you, have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Keep learning languages. Bye bye.